Hey yo, what up, fam? Welcome back to the Soul Players. I am the host with the most in this place, case, Mr. Governor 420, homie. So today we're gonna be talking about the Galaxy players. And old good 420 is gonna explain to you guys about the Galaxy and why it exists. And what is the Galaxy actually? A lot of people look at the beautiful galaxy like, wow, that's absolutely beautiful and fucking stunning and amazing. Well, listen here, folks. The galaxy is you, baby. Now, let me go ahead and explain the whole situation. So, our scientists, human scientists, said the planet was formed by a bunch of shit out of the galaxy, right? The galaxy sent a bunch of shit next to the fucking sun and created a planet. And the humans and all life evolved from the water, the ocean, from bacteria and shit like that. Which basically means our consciousness, from humans to animals to birds to parasites to the DNA that you can't control inside your body, to all the cells that move in every living organism, that you are not moving, that they just move on their own. All that shit comes from the galaxy. All that consciousness comes from the galaxy. It comes from the universe. So basically, the universe is alive. The galaxy is alive. It might be a giant, living, conscious organism with infinite fucking knowledge about infinite fucking shit. Now some of you might say, well, why would a galaxy want to create a human being if it's all knowing, all seeing, and all this, that, and the other? Well, what the galaxy lacks is feeling, emotion. It can't cry, it can't steal, it can't feel when it's in trouble, it can't fucking love, it can't feel nothing. It can't know what it is to dive and experience fucking life and shit. It don't look at its own self beautiful. You do though. The being that it created from all of its stardust. And in the Bible, I believe it says, from God's hands, he blew into the dust. Now you need to pay attention to those words. He blew air, right? Something you can't see, but you feel, and you know it's there. And the air touched dust and formed life. Now those two things are very important because what if I were to tell you that there are living things that live amongst the oxygen and the gas that you can't see, and they're moving around fine? Some of you are like, are you describing ghosty ghosts? Nah. These beings probably been around a very long time, because basically if you have no flesh, no fucking thing inside of you that can die, basically you can live forever and learn infinite knowledge about a whole lot of shit. And you can do it without being seen, because you live where oxygen, it can be seen. So there are multiple layers to this fucking onion of reality that we're in, okay? So there's multiple layers of this shit. And the galaxy created a being, an entity with flesh and bone to taste, feel. And the question is, why would the galaxy do that? To feed itself. When you die, I'm guessing all the shit you collected, the galaxy feeds off that and finally feels something. Maybe, because if we indeed all came from the galaxy, and the galaxy is one mind, one organism, we are all connected to it. And when we all die, whenever we die, whenever our time is up, all of our collective energy goes back to the one galaxy. The galaxy is one, with multiple different universes, or whatever you want to call them. But as a whole, it is one entity. And scientists said it is the Big Bang. Could it be God's mind exploded? Because he knew so much about so much? Could there have been a being that, boom, and then all this knowledge was spread out throughout? Could it be that? I don't fucking know. There's no way of knowing. Maybe not even through death. Maybe the galaxy is actually trying to find the God that created it by creating human beings. Or if there is a God that created the galaxy, he would be the king of those who live amongst where the oxygen is. Because in order for him to obtain all that knowledge and power and all this and that, he would have to be without flesh, bone, and never sleep. Which I don't believe humans actually ever do. It's kind of like a fake sleep. Because when a human goes to sleep, you dream. Which basically means you're still fucking awake. Which means, and not only that, but your mind is like a radio. Okay, it's always giving off signals and frequencies even without you realizing it. Kind of like when you change the radio station, it goes from one fucking radio, yeehaw man out there, and then you switch another one, wow motherfucker out there, and then you switch another one, you keep switching it. It's just like your mind. You go from one thing to another thing to, oh I gotta do this, oh I gotta do that, oh I gotta do that. You're just switching the dial of your frequency in your mind. Now, my question is, who's picking up that frequency? And why was that frequency in your mind even created in the first place? You get my drift? Even the plants have their own little frequency, and they can recognize their frequency. So, the galaxy created all things living, from everything, from the bacteria that moves, everything. And the human is the only one that can recognize the galaxy for what it is, which is cool. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen. And here's the thing too about human and suicide. When it comes to suicide, if you think about suicide, when a human ends their life, why do they do that? They lose all hope. They lose all roads to anything of happiness, right? They basically feel like a galaxy. Nothing can make them happy. They can't feel nothing. Everything in this life is dead and hopeless for them. So they what? Kill themselves. Because they can't provide the galaxy anything of what it needs. A person who lacks feeling of the world that is provided for them and kills themselves, you get what I'm saying? The galaxy needs you to feel happy. It needs you to feel at least angry. It needs you to feel some kind of way. Do something. Or end it. galaxy will continue to move forward. But what humans need to realize is it's a rarity to be human and to recognize all this wonderful shit around you that you can learn and explore and taste, feel, and all this and that and the other. No matter what it is, the galaxy is going to be jealous of you because you can run, you can kick something and feel pain. You get what I'm saying? And what's craziest too is that how would the galaxy, if it had no feeling, know how to create a being that has feeling? And why in the flying fuck would the galaxy even crave that feeling in the fucking first place if it never even knew about feelings or emotion or love? Unless it once had that and is trying to feel it again. That's what I'm saying. Maybe God's mind exploded and it's trying to come back to once it was, maybe. Or an entity known as God